And we're live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Save or Dice. I, of course, am your incredibly handsome, with these amazing eyebrows, host Cody from Taking 20, and I have some also beautiful belching people with me this evening with seafoam green hair for some reason. I don't know.
I like the ocean.
Demonetized.
I like the ocean. Demonetized. Guy, our great GM, aka the Fat Goblin, is here with us. He is not dead from pneumonia, as he proceeds to cough along. We have Lauren, aka xMsGinjaNinja. We have Mike, aka unMadeGaming. Everybody knows Jacob. And then there's David Friant from Nerdarchy joining us as well. Here to talk a few words of our hopeful sponsors that we still haven't, we haven't locked everything down yet. God, Lauren looks really terrified and paranoid right now, but we're gonna go with Mike Hunt.
Before I talk about where you can paint dungeons and where you can get your wood on, I'd like to defend Jacob here, because everyone knows that mermaid hair is all the rage with millennial teen girls. So it's totally fine and absolutely on brand for him. But speaking of painting your hair and painting other things, if you guys want to paint your dungeons in a studio, Dungeon Painter Studios available now on Steam. And I stole that from Jacob. Thank you, Jacob. While you have your hands on that wooden paintbrush, get your hands on some more wood with Elderwood Academy. Hashtag get your wood on. That's exactly how that goes. And last but definitely not least, our favorite online tabletop, Fantasy Grounds. Doesn't fuck us on rolls at all, and roll fours all the time. Buy your shirts now, save 4 dice.
Speaking of shirts, we have just a little, we just want to show off a little something here. We will be making the hashtag read the fucking book, Mike, t-shirts available if you guys want them. If not, then we won't. And I'll just wear
Cody,
this for
you
me.
Mirror your image on the overlay.
On Zoom, I think, but I think on the podcast, it's
on my YouTube, you're weird.
We'll figure it. It says hashtag read the fucking book, Mike. All right, so
guys, I get 10% of the profits on those shirts because
I talking about totally different, Mike. You don't get anything.
It's in my contract.
Who is going? No, it's not. I wrote the contract. Who is going to kill?
You got a contract?
Who's going to die tonight? Is Vegas going to die?
I'm at 1 hit point.
Probably Dante.
I'm at 1 fucking hit point.
If we're being
better
honest.
not be Draxus. That's all good.
I want to see them dancing.
I don't even know if I've hit 0 yet.
The Little Mermaid, really? Well, I suppose it's the theme of the day, isn't it?
Yeah.
I have no healing word slots left, Dante.
You're crying and nowhere near any of us.
Yeah, and Venkus, does he have healing word?
I have
healing word, but I'm out of spell slots.
Samesies, we saved all those kids because we're heroes.
No, you didn't. You didn't save 1 kid because he's now a corpse that you're crying over.
It could have been 7, Mike. All right?
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Up where they walk, up where they run.
Guy, are you ready for D&D tonight? I mean, I hope you have enough energy for all this.
I am ready. I am ready to...
Tonight's gonna be a good
Oh my God, really?
She said I got a feeling, and it just
That's
happened.
it.
Are we...
I can heal.
We're making handbags and shoes.
I haven't yet, but I could.
It's true.
Guys, can you believe who died on After Dark? I mean, oh my God, I can't believe...
I had to give myself a pep talk today to not mention anything from the podcast.
Yeah. Also, thanks, James Leslie, for the donation, and fuck you for your message.
I was going to start with James Leslie's and starting his shit already.
Jesus
Perfect.
Christ.
Thanks, James.
Thank you for the money and go fuck yourself.
Well done.
We love you,
James.
James.
Cody stuff. Make sure to go in there and donate, and make sure that you specifically note that it's for the PO box.
Oh, guys, if you haven't joined the Patreon, we're just going to keep plugging things and not let Guy talk because he's still sick.
We're never going to play.
We're actually not going to play the entire time. If you guys haven't joined the Patreon, the Discord's out of its mind, and there is now a dank meme bank in there.
Meme apocalypse?
There's a meme apocalypse that's pretty amazing. Glad you wasted that.
Hey, so I'm trying to build some subs right now. I don't know if you've heard of the channel XP to level 3. If you want to go over there and give me a little subscribe.
Jesus.
Let you know.
Guy, please start talking.
Right. Absolutely. Let's get this disaster on the road. So, Gwen, you land underneath the great Skywill as she holds position directly above the open cast mines, just behind Draxus, who has also abandoned Skywill to run towards the open cast mines. Inside of the mines, you suspect is where Vankus is, Dante has fled in there. Lionel is still standing around the grave of the fallen child who had injuries and is being emotionally in touch with his masculinity, unlike Gillette. So let's move forward. Gwen, what are you doing?
Yelling at Draxus because he was not supposed to leave the safety of the ship. She arrives, at the bottom and is looking around, seeing the scene of the grieving. And I believe the last thing she said before we cut out was, we have to get back on the whale. Where are the other two?
They're in the mine. Go protect the dragon egg. And he starts running.
She follows him, of course.
Of course she does. Where else is
the
she
children
gonna
are watching it.
Lionel, there is
It is on this day that we give back this child who was taken to... And he's like full on in service, holding hands with the kids. He's totally tapped in magic, but if you'll allow it, he'll reach down and summon forth every ounce that he has to start forming a small little rose petal to be placed upon the child's body. It doesn't have enough magic, so it's just like it's just dust. He's just creating dirt for the child.
Illusions that you managed to weave together, absolutely, without a doubt. Collectively, the children standing around you, they're very solemn. And they sort of watch your performance, and there's sort of general murmurings that they remembered. Is it me?
Is Jacob? Are you okay, buddy?
Hey, Daddy Dog.
What was that?
It was your mic.
And we're back. Sorry about that little technical difficulties, Guy. If you want to jump back into this thing.
Jumping is not part of my usual physical activity, but sure, let's go for it. So, Lionel, you are standing around the grave of the children, and you are doing your best to summon forth as much magic as you can, but there is precious little left. Draxus, you are running down into the open cast mine as fast as you possibly can. You can hear coming from the doorway the sounds of screaming and shouting. As definitely sounds of battle are occurring. Dante, you have run around the corner and you are seeing this gigantic, bloated, undead zombie beholder. Its eyes have all turned to look directly at you because you have struck it previously. And it seems to be drifting towards you with its great cavernous maw opening up, and the stench that emits from it is that of rotting meat and that wonderfully strange coppery aroma of freshly produced mucus. What are you doing?
It turns and looks at me, right? I look at it and I point at it and I say, "Not today.
You will not take another one. Come and fight me.
And I'm like bleeding and dying.
Yes.
And then I will walk forward and I will axe him in the face.
Run away.
Make your attack.
And I'm going to Great Weapon Master.
Sure.
And I don't have anything. Oh, am I flanking?
Technically, with Vankus, I suppose you are. Do you have anything that?
No, all it does is give me advantage, and I'm getting a +2. So no, +1. It's a 19. +1. Which
19. That's a definite hit against this poor innocent creature.
Poor innocent. Shut up. It's it's evil and it needs to die.
It's a guard dog, and something was stolen from it. Technically, it's in the right.
21 damage.
Did you just tell the DM to shut up?
Damage. All right, 21 damage it is.
Don't worry about your contract, guy. If you want to kill Jacob tonight, just just go for it, bud.
Everybody's
I
already
really don't think I'm going to have to do much work to do that. He's only got 1 hit point left. Vankus, you're up next. As you watch Dante, you swing your. What are you using, Dante? A large axe?
My teeth.
It's a great axe, yeah.
That's right. Vankus, yes. What are you doing?
So Vankus is a direwolf on the other side of him, and he will rip into this thing in its putrid flesh. Oh, double 13. So that's a 21 to hit.
That's definitely a hit.
And damage is a thing I can do. All right. So
10
that's
points of damage?
10 points of damage.
Snarling and growling, you rip into its flesh. It doesn't seem to pay much attention to you, but as you pull back, you have this large chunk of decrepit, necrotic flesh in your jaws. You can see that it's just black ooze is just pouring out of it, splashing all over the floor. It is, however, still alive, and it gets to act as it looks with intent at dear old
Slime
Dante.
me. Turn me into slime.
Right.
If you lose another character, you're buying art. I'm just saying that.
Okay, it's using that effect. It fires off this blast directly at you, Dante. Would you please give me a Constitution saving throw?
I sure can. I have a +2. Wait. Yes, I have a +2. All right, guys. All right.
You got this.
Goodbye.
Have you dropped yet? Aren't you a half orc?
I already did that. Yeah.
He has dropped, correct. So that's why he's back on 1 hit point at the moment. There you go. All right, so
That's such a low number.
remind me that on your turn you can make this saving throw again.
You know,
That's one of the lowest.
I'm sorry, what?
did that drop him?
Second lowest.
No, it didn't drop him. What happens is Vankus, as you're watching this thing, that this gray beam of energy just erupts out of the creature's eye, slams directly into Dante's chest, and for a moment the orc doesn't seem to be too affected by it. But then that gray energy just washes all over him, cocooning him, and he comes to an absolute freeze.
Oh my god.
I'm very familiar with it. It did it to one of my wolves.
It did indeed. Gwen, you are busy running after Draxus. Are you going to try and stop Draxus? What is your plan?
She wants to help. She just also wants to babysit.
Wants to help and babysit. All right. And Draxus, you are trying to run inside the mines. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. So I'm going to just say that the two of you arrive at the entrance to the mine as you have been rushing and running forward. Lionel, are you going to do anything else? The kids are now satisfied that the burial has taken place?
Yeah, you know what? I think I'd like to roll a perception to see if Dante, if I like recognize the situation of Dante being missing, because you know Dante's a big part of Lionel's life. So I think that would be a good way to approach this.
I agree.
I have a +0 to wisdom. Where's my perception? My perception's a 13. Okay, great. So can I roll that? No. All right. So a +3 to this.
13. All right.
+3 to that. That's a 9. Yeah,
That's
he
a
doesn't.
9.
He doesn't. He's caught up in the moment. He's caught up in the moment.
All right. The kids all turn and look at you, and the one steps forward and says, "What are we going to do now? We need to to go get the other mines and destroy everything. Will you help us?
Children, I will have to speak with my associates before I make any type of life-altering decisions like that. But perhaps there is a way we could help you.
They all sort of nod solemnly. One of them you can see is desperately trying to hold an orc weapon in their hands, this large blade.
I thought they were pretty much gonna run off and leave me in the middle of this. If I remember, a few weeks back they were like, "We're gonna go," and they were bravehearting it at the moment.
They were, but then you gave this wonderful eulogy, which has tempered their youthful enthusiasm.
Good job. You inspired them.
Yes, the death has hit them as hard as it has hit you, I believe.
We might, I'm just saying, we might be able to leverage a sky whale before I just send a bunch of 13-year-olds off to fight a bunch of ogres with like picks. So maybe we'll come up with a plan before we just send them off.
Not a bad thought. Dante, you can give me that Constitution saving throw again, if you please.
Oh my god.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
At the end of your round.
I'm only made of stone. Hey, 21.
There you go. You can see the gray is starting to be absorbed into Dante's flesh, and you can feel your muscles starting very sluggishly to come back. But no dice at the moment. Vankus, you are facing this beholder. It has now spun around and is looking at you.
Come on, Dave, kill it.
Nice.
You can do it.
All right. Jumping on this sucker.
Nice. Do your damage.
Well,
How's it looking? I mean, we've been tearing at it for a while now, I feel like.
Incredibly cadaverous. It really is looking bad.
Just keep shredding away. We're going to peel this thing.
Yeah, you grab onto one of its eye stalks, which is drifting too closely. There's it sounds like a popping sound, or a bursting sensation more than a sound anyway. And the whole thing just breaks down into black sludge. And there's a sort of a thud as the meaty skull lands directly in front of you. The creature is dead.
Yay! Nice.
Finally! That sucker had a lot of hit points.
He did indeed.
Hercules.
I will basically like slam into Dante and do the dog thing, when you're kind of like, when they like circle your legs, almost like a cat.
There is
a
very
dog thing that's kind of like a cat thing.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
Yeah, we're out of initiative now, so the situation calms down to a mild frenzy. Dante, you are no longer paralyzed. Draxus and Gwen, you come around the corner to see this very relieved, perhaps, looking Dante. I'm not sure.
Nah, he's just kind of neutral. Like, he makes sure Vankus is all right, and then as soon as he does, he just kind of nods and he looks up towards everybody and he says, "It's dead."
Vankus is on your chest, licking your face as a dire wolf.
Stop! What are you doing? Okay, all right. Yep. All right. Okay.
As a man would have.
I'm really tired. I pet his head, and then I turn towards them and I say, "It's dead." And Vankus is trying to lick my face.
And so then I'll bark and run back to the chest.
I think all this happens as Draxus continues running. So he rounds the corner, sees this scene of, I can only assume either sexuality or jubilation, who knows, and a dead beholder. And he's running, he's nice, and he keeps going. And you just hear him shout, "Targath! Targath!" as he's trying to find his ogre friend.
All right, you're running deeper into the mine, shouting for Targath, the geologist. Gwen, are you following?
So Gwen has seen Dante by now?
Yeah.
She's going to go over and just kind of put her hand on his shoulder. "You guys did pretty well." And she looks over, and she's going to cast Lay on Hands.
Nice.
Because he does not look so good.
Is she still covered in tentacles and goo?
Yeah.
So it's a moist hand.
Nice.
Moist hand onto a moist half-orc.
I'm moist.
That's a terrible word.
Your voice cracked when you said moist. Just moist.
He got
Sorry, he's just going through
excited.
puberty. Leave him alone.
Did you hear that, Mike? It was breaking the sound barrier before.
Don't touch me with your moist hands.
Draxus, you have been running down the corridor for a while until eventually shouting for your friend. And
He's definitely
eventually,
not going to club me to death.
right. Yeah, no, that does not happen, luckily, I suppose you could say. But you do eventually hear a, do you really come back?
Yeah, of course I came back. I said you could ride on the Sky Whale, and I told you to prove your worth, and you didn't, so I'm a little disappointed that you kind of chickened out and hid.
Well,
That's okay. It's fine. You can still join the Sky Whale. It's just now you're going to be an intern, so you get no pay until you prove your worth. We'll negotiate that.
But, well, all right.
The Beholder's dead, by the way.
Who am I interning to? I mean, I have my professional pride.
Me. I'm a doctor professor.
But not of geology.
No. But I also I'm working on a marketing degree, apparently. I didn't know, but I feel like this is a lot of extra credit that I could put towards a few points in a marketing degree. So, marketing, arcane, history, geology's right up there.
I think you've maybe misunderstood the fundamental differences of the different sciences, but...
Well, judging by the stone that was definitely not a stone, we could translate that into arcane geology, and then we'll be fine.
Arcane geology, that's an interesting field of study, given where we are.
That's a dragon egg.
No, well, that would technically be arcane biology. I mean, let's be honest here, Professor.
Right.
I have
You're correct. You're correct. Sorry, let me rephrase that. It's a crystal dragon egg, so it's arcane biological geology. That's the word I meant.
Unless it dies and it becomes geography.
Right. Exactly. It's a good. Anyway, can we get out of here?
Yes, absolutely.
Unless there's other cool rocks you can show me.
No, not really.
All right.
The three of you, Dante, Vankus, and Gwen, hear this debate of scholastic division approaching you as you have healed Dante a certain amount of hit points. He's looking a lot better than he was. Yeah, and that's pretty much all that you hear for the rest of the mine. What are you guys doing? Lionel, you have not seen anyone come out of the mine.
Yeah,
the Skywell is hovering.
Yeah, at this point, I think I would be loading the kids up to the Sky Whale to have a big group meeting.
There's a large group of kids.
And there's already kids up there from the last group of kids that we've kidnapped. So yeah, we're gonna mingle the kids. We're gonna get them all.
Did you say mingle or mangle?
Mingle.
Oh
As
boy,
in intermingle the kids.
Some from column A, some from column B.
We already did that for one of.
I was gonna say one's already been dead.
You guys are trying to make Lionel out to be some pedo, and he's not. All right.
No. I thought you said mangle, like kill.
Yeah.
Yes,
I thought you were a murderer.
Lionel would like to take the children up to the Skywell and individually mangle them one by one.
Well, that's fair because
Now you sound like a pedophile.
If you kill them, no one else can.
Fucking A, Lauren.
You did this. This is not.
Mr. Doctor
I would like
Professor
to treat them. And
Vankus,
it's not
what
a
do you-
euphemism to some honey. I would like to treat the kids to some honey.
One last doggy downward stretch, and I'm gonna shake myself back into Venkus.
Same.
And I want to check out this chest.
Absolutely. All right. Inside the chest, there appears to be quite a substantial number of gems. I believe that's what was in the chest. Is that what I said last time? I can't remember.
That sounds right.
No?
A substantial
Yes.
number of monies. Cool.
It's a large number of gems, and there is a pouch that has the satisfactory bulges of gold coins.
Lionel, give me a hand with this. It's really heavy. I wanted to get it for Draxus. I owe him a lot of money.
Right.
Just grab the other end.
Okay.
And I pick up.
Dante walks over and he just begins to try to open the chest.
All right. Open the chest or carry the chest with Vankus?
We're gonna open it first.
All right. It's already been opened.
So we're carrying. We're carrying this, right?
He needs help carrying his bulges of gold.
All right. Well,
it weighs like 70 pounds. It's heavy, and I have an each.
No problem. I'll pick it up. I have a 17 in strength.
Gotcha. Not a problem.
And a 1
right.
hit points.
You managed to make your way out of the mines. Those of you who are more observant than the others will notice that Draxus has a very large ogre following behind him, and they appear to be deep in scholastic debate.
I'd like to think he just hasn't addressed it at all, too. He's just like watching them walk out, and he's just leaving with an ogre. Having
This is the guy you were talking to when I left you and went to go deal with the tentacles?
I found him. Yes, that's the same guy.
So she would say, did you know that there were tentacles in that room?
That's the exact moment Vankus runs up, grabs Draxus by the wrist, and begins trying to bodily drag him over to the chest. Vankus, I've got your monies for you. I'm going to pay you back.
Okay, names aren't important right now. What? You're paying who back now for?
The Love Shack and everything else that you've been paying for.
Oh.
We've got money. And I lead you to the chest full of gems and coins.
That Dante is busy carrying towards the skywell. In the meantime, Thargath extends his hand towards you, Gwen. My name is Thargath, and when you say tentacles, do you mean the security precautions that my previous employer engaged in the protection of his investments?
Yes.
Then yes, I was aware of that, yes.
Thanks for the warning.
I was not aware that you were attempting to liberate those. As a matter of fact, this entire incident has...
I walk past him with the chest.
There's just like dead ogres and burnt like a burning tower. Just like the field is littered with bodies of his comrades.
Yeah, he's actually realizing this. Now that he's walked out of the mine itself, he's starting to take that into cognizance. I did not realize this was a liberation operation.
Yes, it was. I understand you worked for this guy. Are you like...
I did in the past, but now I'm employed by Dr. Professor Draxus as a trainee geologist in residence.
Of course you are. Just know, if you try to slit his throat in the middle of the night, I'll drag you behind the sky whale.
Noted. Operation Murder will now only take place in the morning. That's a joke. I'm joking.
I can watch him then.
I'm joking.
And she just squints at him and walks away.
And Dante! And Dante! How much gold did we make?
I don't know.
I'm going to toss down some extra ropes to help them to bring all that up.
And it doesn't take you too long before all of you are back aboard Sartoon. Captain Sirek comes running up to the five of you. I don't mean to be very, what is the word? Pessimistic, but this is not a passenger liner. There are now lots and lots of children aboard this vessel. What are we now? Kindergarten?
Draxus sort of like, I assume everyone's eyes up there now. He like kicks open the trunk and just grabs a handful of gems and just hands them in his pudgy fat fingers.
That should cover the... It's a cruise liner now?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll change the branding. I'm on my way to do it as we speak. I think it's a brilliant idea, he says. Name Kasim, get the paint! He shouts as he walks towards the front of the skywell.
Can we just talk about dragging a man behind the skywell for a second? How fun that would be. Just it's not like dragging behind a car, which is terrible. He's just
the rope goes under the other.
I was actually thinking that's probably like a thing. Instead of water skiing, they sky ski.
Cloud ski? That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
Maybe I should try that.
Honeypot Uncle Lionel, I hate you.
All right.
Yeah, I almost called you Daddy Dante in character because that's your fucking Zoom name. I was like, Dad, nope. I think Gwen
I got something to tell you, Mike.
It takes some of the gems, and she would just shovel a handful in her pocket and say, I may be protecting you, but I need better armor if I'm going to deal with this shit. And she just stuffs one of her pockets and then walks away.
Got you. Not a problem.
At this point, Lionel
She'll go feed the kids, help take care of them.
Lionel probably would have told or asked Dante, because he treats Dante with respect, right? Dante's his boy. Dante to like kind of watch over the kids for a minute, and he's gonna kind of mosey on up over here to Draxus to separate all of the loot that we have received so gloriously.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that if you're going to be keeping the dragon egg, that should come out of your cut.
Okay. I'm sorry. There's a misunderstanding. Venkus, this is his. And I built him an entire house with my money, so he gave it to me. And also I found the dragon egg.
As you say, you do not bullshitter.
No, I'm dead serious. And here, you know what? Take this. And he grabs the sack of coins, and he says,
You can take. That's probably enough.
I don't like the word probably and enough. All right.
I did kill the eye monster while I was killing Dante.
That's true. He did save your friend's life.
And we certainly saved your lives, as well as the lives of the children.
Nope, I didn't want to bring the children, and I was in no danger. In fact, I found a new employee.
I don't think you're understanding what I'm trying to say here. I think the egg is going to come out of your cut. After, of course, you get paid back for the magnificent love shack I've enjoyed sleeping in with my good man here.
Which is what this is.
Are you talking about me?
The remainder after the love
no,
shack.
Dante. I'm just taking care of some business.
Okay, I'm gonna continue mourning in this corner.
Guy, out of curiosity, how much is the chest of gems worth after the 2 handfuls have been taken out?
After the 2 handfuls have been removed, you calculate that there's probably around about 4,822 coins left.
Of gems worth of coins?
Gems and gold.
How much was so that's after Homeboy got his cut. So listen, I don't necessarily want to work this out on stream, but Lionel is going to be very adamant that that Draxus is not the one divvying out any of the gold and loot. And
no, he literally gave you all of the coins.
All of the coins?
A stack of all of the coins.
And you're keeping the dragon egg?
And the gems in the box.
He wouldn't count any of that. There would be some rife over the next few days until that got sorted out in a more mathematical, favorable way. Lionel is logical, man.
That's true.
You're not going to swindle him.
Your math is countered by threats to throw you off the skywheel.
This is going to probably build over the next few days as they decide to do what they want to do with the children. It's going to cause some tension here between Draxus and Lionel.
I assume it's a glare or two from Gwen.
All right.
He doesn't give a shit.
Vankus, Leslie and Earwith have approached you, as well as Donkey and as Scratches, and they look fairly concerned. Leslie kind of wraps her arms around you, and she's always very happy to see you whenever you return in one piece, and she sort of does a double take as you approach. And she looks at you and she says, Vankus, how are we going to take care of this army of children? And I feel I would be remiss as your wife if I didn't say that we could certainly make sure that the sun is going to rise for the next 40-odd days, if that was your intention.
Vegas has no idea what she's talking about. The kids don't manage themselves. We always managed ourselves. They were already surviving alone.
Yes, but that was when they could scavenge around their whatever it is that they lived in. Now they're on the Skywell, and there's not that many reserves. We didn't plan on doubling our numbers so quickly.
Oh, I can talk to the spirits, and I can enchant berries for them all.
For all of them?
Yes, I can make a lot, and I take like 6 seconds and make 10 berries. And be like, try one of these and put one in her mouth.
That's pretty good, but is that what we're going to feed them? Berries? I mean, it's not bad. It's definitely not bad, and it's certainly better than having to have a production line to try and keep them going.
I figured Draxus would figure something out. I gave him a bunch of money for building the shack.
It's always good to pay your debts. Very good. Yes. Now, talking about the Love Shack, I've been thinking about it, and if we add on some extensions, Leslie says as she starts leading you back towards the shack, I just want to show you what I'm thinking about, she says. As you're leaving, Ilwith looks from you. She then marches over to Gwen, and this elf with the green crystal in her chest looks at you and she says, I'm not entirely sure whom to speak to, but you seem to be the only one who really knows what's going on. Well, either that or Draxus, but he seems to be embroiled in some quite heated debate with that honey seller. Are we going to get this thing out of my chest anytime soon or not? And when are we starting the circus? Because that's what I was promised, a mobile circus.
The circus part, I will have to bring up with Draxus. I assume whenever we dock. Although I was not told there is a circus, but we do have a talking animal and one that changes into an animal.
I think I did say circus.
Sings.
That sounds like a circus to me. Talking animals, freak shows, that sort of thing. I just want to know where my trebuchet is, because I like to practice beforehand.
I will... You know what? I think what Draxus really wants is for you to make a very detailed list of all of your complaints, just so that he can properly manage all of these complaints.
No, I want to make it absolutely clear. These are not complaints. It's just requests.
Requests. Sorry, I apologize.
Yes.
Requests. But make a very long list. And he likes it when you're very vocal about the things that you're complaining about. So just speak very loudly and quickly, just so not to waste his time. But wait until, once everyone's settling down to go to bed. That's when he does his best listening. So that's a good time.
No, I appreciate your advice, Gwen. Thank you.
Of course.
She
hands her last, like she's sitting there eating something. She'll offer her some.
That's all right. I've already sucked on Vankus's berries.
Is there any liquor on board? Any mead?
I believe there might be some in the Love Shack, which I wanted to have a question about.
I don't take questions about the Love Shack. We don't talk about what happens in there.
Is there a list I should be on?
I think if you just get undressed and go in there, that's just the protocol,
Well, that seems awfully
spontaneity
to me, but all right.
Just make sure there's no kids around.
Yes, well, that seems to be a bit of a problem recently. I'm all for free labor, but do we really need that many? That's my question. I'll put it on my list. Thank you very much. She turns and she leaves.
I'm gonna kill this bitch.
I'm gonna go to Lionel. I'm gonna say, hey.
Yeah, bro.
What are we doing with these kids?
I got to be honest, Dante. I'm not certain at the moment.
Well, we need to put them somewhere. They can't stay here.
The place that we'll be putting them is in danger if we just let them go. There is
We
another.
go up to the upper
No,
spheres.
Dante. There is another camp.
They want to go raid another camp.
That's what they're going to do.
I look at Draxus.
Draxus!
And
Let's
right
have
here.
a chat.
I'm just looking at you like, what do you think?
I'm sorry.
You don't have to shout at me. I'm still here. We were
You're
just.
just so short. I thought you were the rest of the children.
Dante!
Like 7 feet tall. I'm nearly as tall as he is.
I'm purposefully trying to like dig and pick at him.
Draxus, what are we gonna do about all these kids?
There is another camp, Draxus.
Okay.
The kids are going to go there. They're probably going to get slaughtered.
Yeah.
You're
no,
just
that's
going to
bad.
let them do that, or should we give them some assistance?
No. This is a flying sky whale, and I'm a goddamn adult. It stops where we say it stops. So we just don't go to the camp where they get slaughtered. Who said they could go to the camp?
What about the other children who are being used as slave labor? Tell,
First of all,
ask
I didn't say they
Vegas
could go
what
to
he
the first
thinks.
camp. I didn't say they could go to the first camp. Vegas staged a mutiny,
Hey,
Which
Vegas!
I didn't want
which
them.
still
gonna
needs to
call
be
Vegas
discussed.
Vegas, the children say there is a second camp.
I just like to imagine that he's also right there. You're like, hey, guess.
He's just not even noticing.
Venkis was about to be rewarded by Leslie for returning as a hero and saving all these children.
I'm definitely going to interrupt that.
Oh!
Gwen was also looking for him, so she'll just follow.
What are we going to do about all the children?
And Vegas just thinks he was getting ready to look at the renovations she wants on the
right over
These
his head.
renovations, all right.
Poor Leslie's gonna be like, all right, just right around this corner, and she goes in and gets ready, and then Vegas gets fucking pulled away, so she's just sitting there in her robe.
And then the fucking and then the chick from the circus with the thing in her chest that told her to wait naked. She
Walks in naked.
She's just like, paint me like one of your Skywheel girls.
Oh god.
Venkis, we got a problem. The children say there is a second camp, and they're going to go there and attack all the ogres.
No, they're not.
I don't think they can get there unless we take them. Are we going to go to the second? We do have the mission to save the life. I just really wanted to get my friends that were at the first camp.
I didn't see any of your friends. Just the children. Is that who you were going after?
Yeah. So I know them. I know some of them. I grew up with them.
But Venkis, there's more.
Draxus, you're like a book, right?
But I
the
think
Vegas told us
think
something. What are we supposed to be doing?
I'm sorry, what?
we have to stop the world from ending. I figured this was kind of on the way, so we could stop here, but then go save the world. We'll have to get to camp after we save the world.
Yeah.
Okay, but you're the one telling them that.
Is there anywhere safe that we could drop these kids off? Maybe?
Yeah, it's not exactly a roomy on the ship anymore.
I don't care about that.
To the point of maximum occupancy.
Yeah, I worry that we're bad luck. Mostly Draxus, because he just death follows him. I could keep him alive.
I haven't died once.
All I'm here for.
Do you know any place that we could
yeah,
drop the
I know
children off? Anyone? Gwen?
Hmm?
Do you know any place that we might be able to take the children till we come back for them?
Would
No,
I know
it's-
of anywhere along the way down here from all like the books and everything that she's been around for?
In the Undersphere, not likely. The Undersphere is a harsh, difficult environment. Certainly, if you went into the Terrasphere, there are many cities where you could drop children off, and probably orphanages in those cities as well.
Just 60 kids here.
Yeah.
No, it's only like 40.
Yeah, there's two groups, remember?
There was only 20 in the first group, and we only rescued like a handful from the other group.
First off, I cast Healing Word like 7 times, so it better be more than fucking 10 children.
You brought 7 of them down of the 20 to fucking be warriors for some dumb reason.
Whatever. We got 40 kids here. All right, what are we gonna fucking do with them? And how are we possibly gonna leave the lower sphere? I'm sorry.
We need to take them
the lower sphere to go back. Yeah, before we go back into the sphere.
I thought Al-Kazim was great with the kids personally.
Yeah. We can turn them into a big circus.
I thought we were just going to leave them on the well. We just need to get some more food and water.
I'm sorry. Some
food
and what?
I turn to everybody and I say, we can't take care of them. We've proven that. Why are we keeping them here?
Because they're going to go get themselves killed if we let them go.
Not if we put them somewhere safe. What are they going to do? Jump off the islands?
I'm not advocating keeping the children, but they were wild and living on their own before we found them. So
I'm not saying put them back where we found them. I'm saying take them somewhere safe.
I'm saying they don't need us to take care of them. They were doing pretty okay before.
I agree. All we did was get one killed.
You can't hunt and provide for one on a sky whale where there's limited resources.
Their life was actually kind of shitty before.
Right. So it's absolutely better here on the sky whale.
It's like those children were a hungry tribe who hunted things down with rock monsters. And those children were slaves who broke up a bunch of rocks for ogres.
Yeah.
Their life wasn't very good before we got there.
Right. And now they can clean the deck and prune scratches and sartoon.
Oh God!
We just need lots of brushes and they can clean the sky whale.
8 of them just like fucking like riding on scratches.
Just like that.
Just like
that. Well, you wouldn't want to like irritate the sky whale, so you have to do it a little slower.
Yeah. Guy, do I know of any cities that are along the way from here to wherever the hell we're going?
That's what I was going to say.
Well,
if nearby ones, even I don't really care.
Yeah, absolutely. They're multiple. The territory that you were going to up in the Terrasphere, if you recall, it had been suggested that you go and look for the shaman who would be able to remove the stones from the Croxicot Empire.
Is that in a city?
There are many cities along that route.
All right, first one.
The very first city that you want to go to? All right, sure. Let me just bring up the map here of the territories. So
we'll get the kids far away from like death and murder, preferably.
All right. So your instructions to Captain Sirac is to make for the Terrasphere and to head for the nearest city that you come across. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right. In terms of your city options, if you are heading to Shisha, which is that lizard folk city that the Tower Ancients suggested you go to, Cambron is a very nice little city that you can pass nearby. It's a human-controlled city.
I'll turn to everybody else and say, why don't we take the kids and drop them off at Cambron, and then we go to the lizard folk island that we're supposed to go to.
We could just pick up supplies at Cambron. Leslie can make up a chore wheel, and I think this could work out great. It's like a big family.
I go over to Venkis and I look him and I kind of look down at him and I say,
very small.
No. One of them died. No.
That's not bad. That happens all the time where we come from.
These kids don't deserve to be raised like orcs like I was. They don't deserve to live out here in nothing. They need a place to stay and not be like us, hunting down and trying to just avenge their fallen families.
But if we just drop them off, won't they be doing the same thing in a different place?
No, they'll have a different life. They're kids. They're not adults. They're not going to continue with this life. They're going to become something different.
Who's going to take care of them? Who's going to provide for them?
I don't know, Venkis. Why don't you do it?
That's what I said here on the Skywell.
No. You have to choose. It's either these kids or you're going to save the world. We can't take them with us because we're at risk of death.
Why, I keep taking you guys with me.
I don't think we're going to bring the well to where we're going. I think we're going to have to get off again. We always end up. We go someplace, we get off the well, we do a thing, and then we get back to the well. The whale's always there when we come back. It seems pretty safe.
Yeah,
It's
the
a
whale
really
is
big whale. Who's gonna mess with it?
Just out of curiosity, throng of children, what do you want to do?
Why are you asking?
All look incredibly guilty because they've been in a little quiet huddle, whilst you guys have been in your very quiet huddle. And Jarvie looks at the six of you, five of you, and scratches, and very seriously steps forward. What we would like to do is we want to retake the mines that are left in the Undersphere, but we realize that we're not good fighters yet.
Great. Oh, I'm sorry, was that it?
No. Okay. So we're hoping that you can continue to teach us like you were doing before we got to the mines.
Mm-hmm.
And that way we can become good warriors like all of you. And then we can retake the Undersphere for all kids everywhere and make it a better place, if that's okay with you.
See?
Alright, I changed my mind.
Dante, if we keep him on the boat, it won't, the Sky Whale, you know, they're not going to be raised like orcs, okay? No one's going to be eating anyone else's toes.
No one's going to eat anyone else anything.
That was
Vegas looks up from chewing his toenails. What did I say?
Like a dog.
Can they stay, Dante? Come on, Dante.
Do you want them to die?
They're not going to die. We're going to keep them safe. They're going to go on a hell of a journey.
My people hunt sky whales.
I know we've killed like a dozen of them.
Somebody's going to be needing to keep this dragonborn in check.
No offense, Dante. You seem all right. And you haven't tried to eat me yet.
I'm not like a typical orc.
I slide my foot out of my boot. Yet he hasn't tried to eat you, and I'm gonna slide it back in.
Wait, do you have one toe missing because Dante ate it?
Always say yes.
It was an accident.
Dante, what's it going to be? You're my friend. I love you, but you got to make a decision here.
There are 38 children all staring at you.
He looks down, and then he looks at everybody else, and then he looks back at Lionel, and he just kind of sinks his eyes down, and he turns around, and he just holds his hand up, and he says, I don't have a choice anyways. And he'll go back down to the love nest.
Okay, we're going to need some supplies.
There's a cheer that goes up from the kids as they all start dancing around and jumping up and down in excitement of this Skywell journey that they're now all on. Yes, you want supplies and the like. Surak, as the Sartoon starts to breach out of the Undersphere and head up to that large constellation of asteroids and things, Surak looks around and looks basically at you, I suppose, Draxus. So, where are these supplies we're going to be getting?
Oh, what do you think, Cambron or Chesley? Which one's closer? Which one's better?
Oh, without a doubt, Cambrian is much, much nicer. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Chessingly is okay, but Cambrian is nice this time of year. Yes.
Sure.
And then, just to be absolutely certain, you said we are going to Qualm, yes?
Yeah, that's the center of the Croxicot Empire, right?
Yes, that is, yes.
Yeah, the lizard folk. Yeah. Yep, that's the one. You seem like you have a face. Your face is doing a thing. My face is doing the I don't want to go there thing it does anytime.
I'm not that comfortable carrying that much meat, but it's okay. We'll make a plan.
Because
that is what you trade when you go to any of the Croxicot Empire. You take flesh with you. It is easier that way than giving them your own. Yeah?
And they trade you in return
life.
That's a shit deal.
No, I find it particularly good, as a matter of fact. You then buy from them the glass that they are making. It's very, very beautiful, very, very valuable. And other trinkets, too. They make very fine leathers.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to work that whole meat for life trade thing out, and then glass. I don't really need that, but I'll figure it out. You know what? Lionel and I are working on a deal about how to. There's a lot of gems. There's a lot of children. There's some things in play. I'll get back to you, but just we'll go to Cambron. We'll get supplies. We'll get meat. We'll figure it out.
Ha! Very good. Very good. Very good.
Perfect. Great.
All right. Unless anyone is going to do anything spectacularly different between now and the flight to Cambron, speak now or forever hold your peace. If you're going to try and do something, do you want to do anything?
Nope. I do want a long rest, however.
You want the what?
I want to have the biggest long freaking rest ever.
You have indeed the biggest long rest ever. Lionel, however, there is... yes, you have the longest rest ever. Everyone can have a long rest. Not a problem at all.
I think. Oh, go ahead, Lauren.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think Draxus is going around and trying to figure out what the hell is happening here. And like he'll go to Vankus and be like, "Yeah, talk to Leslie. Chore wheel, great idea, perfect. She's in charge of cooking. Don't touch that egg. I swear to God, I'll throw her off the whale."
We could get the kids to take turns sitting on it.
I think that's a great idea, Vankus. Why don't you go and tell them that they should do that?
They're not chickens.
That's not how. It's a dragon egg. I don't know if you heard me yelling that, but I don't think. No, don't. Just let's not touch it. Let's not. But the chore wheel, great idea. Renovations. You have. You know what, Lionel? You divvy that up, right? Here, bag of gems for you.
And he gives Vankus a bag of gems minus the cut for Draxus.
That's your renovate the hell out of it. Do whatever you want. I don't care. Put spikes on it or sticks or a skull or something.
And Draxus, I have a question for you. Do your people lay eggs? Tell me, I've always wondered.
What?
Do your people lay eggs?
No.
You can't just ask someone that.
Yeah, you can.
No.
Gwen is loving
Like
this.
you weren't curious yourself. Do you have any experience with eggs?
Eating them and cooking them?
You need to keep them warm or they're not going to make.
Really?
Did you find the egg underground where it was nice and warm?
What do the frost dragons do with their eggs?
I imagine they keep them warm.
No, they keep them cold.
You know that.
Yes, because I'm a professor of arcane and history.
I tell you what, Professor,
geometry.
you don't keep the egg warm, and we'll just see how valuable it turns out to be.
I mean, either it's going to be a dragon, or it's going to be a giant crystal.
Or it's going to be a big dumb rock.
That I'm going to sell for a shitload.
How do you know it's actually a dragon egg? Have you seen dragon eggs before?
Yes.
How do you think it was born?
I said that we don't cook eggs. I thought you were being
So
sad.
the conversation continues as the Skywell breaches out of the darkness of the Undersphere and into the warm tropical lights of the Terrasphere. And for the next 3 days, she continues to make her way steadily north. Vankus, you are producing your good berries out of your ears until it feels as if you've produced more good berries than is humanly possible. But the kids are fed and life seems to have resumed its normal course. Cambron itself is a typical human establishment. Large square towers everywhere, but more docks than you can shake a twig at. And it's easy enough for the large form of Sartoon to dock with many other Skywells alongside. The docking fee is negligible in comparison to the spend that is about to happen. What are you picking up at Cambron specifically?
Honey.
You're
Generic
Sure.
honey. Lots
Absolutely.
of jars.
How many jars? You can probably buy, I would say, from the local reseller, because there is a lady who has an apiary, and
I'll buy 100 jars.
100 jars.
And a big crate to put it in. and however much honey I can buy to fill all those jars up and pretend that it's magical.
All right. Well, that's a 75 gold expense right there.
All right, I'll spend
Oh, hey, guy, did we level up?
Yes.
Yes, you did. You all
Yay!
there you go. Theme music, apparently.
How safe is this city?
Cambron, it's a pretty well-patrolled city. You can see that there are the guards marching up and down. They are all resplendent in chainmail with these large tabards with the rampant lion, which is the symbol of Cambron upon them. Their patrols fairly regularly. Every now and again, you can see that there might be a bit of a lowlife, but otherwise it looks like it's a pretty functioning medieval kind of space. What are you looking to do?
So I give all the money that Draxus gave Vankus, and I take it and present it and give it to Leslie and tell her to take the tougher and older of the kids to go supply for them and get what they'll need.
Yes, Leslie and Gwen and Scratches go off with several of the kids to go and pick up exactly what they need. Sirac is going to take a half day, he informs you, to get what he needs brought on board. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Gwen, are you buying anything, doing anything at this city?
Yeah, I think Gwen is going to, she's going to go looking for two things. One, a shield, maybe if there's a blacksmith in town.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There are multiple vendors available. You can certainly pick up any kind of shield that you like from the PHP. Absolutely, not a problem.
Okay. And then also, she would probably take the girl with her so she can get off the sky whale for a little bit.
You, Sophie, the young girl. All right, absolutely. She's the kids are all in absolute awe and amazement. They have never seen the Terrasphere, let alone cities that are so large and openly accessible. The forests that surround it are even more amazing because they're green and growing, and the trees don't look like they're trying to eat you. The ground is covered in grass, so it's absolute pandemonium in terms of the kids. But yes, Sophie will come rushing along with you without any problem whatsoever.
What does she would have asked her before, but if she can't have any of the acts that she normally does, what could we buy in a town to start off for the first performance?
But one always needs a tent.
Oh my god.
Right. Does it have to be a tent?
Maybe chairs?
There's a huge stage on the sky whale.
Well, that's true. A banner, I suppose, really. We can have a banner made up.
Maybe like an outfit or something? Do you have...
Well, absolutely,
Can Leslie, maybe if I get cloth, Leslie can make you something to wear?
That sounds perfect. Purple, pink, and green are my colors.
Okay. She's writing this down, taking notes. She's picking up all this, like, stuff for her so that she doesn't try to leave the sky whale, because it's another thing for her to have to deal with. And she starts writing up on these pieces of paper, and she, I'm assuming the kids are wandering through town with us.
Running, hooliganing through town, yes.
She would have loaded them up with flyers, one night only, with a little map on the back of where we're docked, and just like one night only with a drawing of Sophie. But it'll be like, come one, come all, like typical circus. Come to the docks of Dillion Downs.
The docks at Dillion Downs. All right. Well, there we go. Absolutely. That's what you're doing. Do you tell any adult of this plan whatsoever?
She tells Draxus, but she knows he's not listening because he's talking to his ogre smarty pants friend. She's like, by the way, we're having a circus, so that girl doesn't leave. Bye. And just, that's it.
I think Draxus hears you, and he says he hears you like you're leaving to like go buy stuff. But again, he's also not listening to you. But he says,
outfit for the donkey.
And then he turns back to the conversation.
And that gives her a good idea, and she buys extra cloth to dress up the donkey who's going to be talking.
Oh my God! All right, well, this is
That
happening.
shield.
You wanted to give us a shopping montage, so this is what you get.
Yeah, this was supposed to be a shopping montage. Now it's turning into a right regular circus. Dante, are you doing anything whilst this disaster is happening?
I'm just waiting for the plot to come in.
You're just waiting for the plot to come in. All right. Well, we're getting there as fast as we can. As fast as we can shop.
There's no trains in you.
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, the day kind of runs its course. Honey is delivered. Boxes of meat are delivered with cubes of ice packed around them. And there's some frantic and frenetic activity that the children and Gwen and everybody seems involved with. There's a lot of general laughing and shouting. At one point, Dante, you hear this, well, for lack of a better word, it does sound like someone has taken a goose and is standing on it every now and again and hitting the wrong notes. There's a sort of a fwa, fwa.
I am perturbed, and I investigate.
As you walk around the corner, you see these two kids. One, you think his name is Brandel. You're not entirely sure. He's standing there, and he has what looks to be the oldest and mankiest set of bagpipes that you have ever seen. And he is trying to blow them up and then push on them to make it work. Next to him is this youngster. You think his name is Wix for sure, and he looks at you and he goes, "Hey man, welcome to the show. My name is Lionel, and this is my partner Dante." As they blow, and he does this big bow and then sort of looks hopefully at you. How did we do? Do you think we sound like you and Mr. Lionel?
He like stops, and it's like one of those moments where it looks like he's about to get really, really, really mad, and he's like, "That was incredible. Let me show you more." And he walks over and he pulls out his bagpipes. And he says, look. All right, you don't want to push right there. You want to push here. And then he's going to start teaching them how to use the bagpipes. And he says, "Where do you have honey? Because you need honey if you're going to try to impersonate Lionel." And he's just going to help them updo their little thing here.
All right. What you discover whilst you're trying to help them is that they do have a glass jar of yellow liquid, which they very promptly tell you not to drink.
Is this me? This is pee, huh? You peed in this?
Well, we didn't have anything else that was yellow and looked
no! And then I pop it, and I look over, and I say, "All right, you're going to take your first lesson in being Lionel. You have to sell this." And I hand it to the kid, and I say, "See that guy right there?" And I point at some old person, and I say, "You got to sell it to him. That's the first thing I'm teaching you right now, how to sell pee as if it's honey. All right? You got this. I believe in you." And then I'm going to give him a bardic inspiration.
All right. What is roll?
He has a D8.
Is a 7.
Oh, no!
Plus the 3 is 10. The
Plus
old
mods.
man
Plus mods.
the old man is about to buy it until eventually he sort of he decides against it type of thing.
I run up, and I say, "Oh, sir. Are you, and I look towards him, and I'm like, "Billy, why are you trying to sell the priceless heirloom of our honey? That thing is expensive and magical. You're just trying to peddle it to some random guy in the street?"
Give me a deception check.
You've learned so well, Dante.
Oh, no, this is 14.
It's a 14. The old man sort of looks from you. He looks at the kid. He looks.
How much was he trying to sell it for me?
And he then completely fails. Fine, I'll take it. And he sort of hands over 7
You
silver.
are in so much trouble, little Billy. You just made money off a priceless heirloom. I hope he doesn't drink it immediately, because if he does, then he'll have extra flying powers. Let's go. And I take him and I walk back to the other kids and I say, "What?"
You watch as the old man sort of takes the jar of honey, and then he sort of shakes it and realizes it's very liquid. Unfortunately, he sort of disappears before you see what happens.
Oh, darn. Well,
But,
he'll definitely drink it later, and then he'll have drinking your pee.
You're ruining the brand, Dante.
Dante doesn't know the brand. And he
There's
says,
another branded play.
he says, "All right, if you keep practicing with those bagpipes, maybe you'll be able to cast spells out of it. Like swords."
We were just really we were just practicing for the opening of the circus, but it's good that we can now sell our pee.
Yeah, that's a very valuable life lesson that you need to know. So anyways, if you're just performing for the show, why don't I teach you a few notes and a few songs? And I'm gonna spend like 10-20 minutes with them, teaching them.
All right.
This is definitely not leaning away from those two being pedos.
There was being,
I have done nothing.
All right, so this circus starts to happen, and there is quite the crowd that has arrived at Dillion Downs dock, because they're quite curious to see this magnificent performance. So collectively, from the 5 of you, because everyone is going to have to get involved,
oh boy,
I need a performance check that totals more than 45.
Oh no,
So
we don't
each of
have
you give
2
me a
bards.
performance roll.
no problem.
And, I think it shouldn't.
I
be-
give everyone a bardic inspiration.
Everyone gets a bardic inspiration. So we've got 9. Wait, let's see. Draxus is giving
And I'm
us a
out of bardic inspiration.
It's a D8, right?
It's a D8.
Oh, look at that.
20,
Way over
20 26.
I think we're over without the bardic inspirations even.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm doing it anyways.
There you go.
All right. So yes, collectively you put on quite a good show for
Nice.
what is happening with the little trio band of Brandel, Wix, and Dante performing double bagpipes and impersonations,
Nice.
as well as a Brandesian donkey who comes upon the stage and has a remarkable repertoire of rather funny horse jokes. Then the acrobats and shape changes and things kind of happen. There is a general smattering of applause, and much happiness is had by all. And eventually, people start to go home once the show has culminated. Captain Surak comes back. He seems to be holding this rather manky-looking hat, which is full of coins and things. We did very well. I'm very, very impressed. I must admit, I did not think that was ever going to work, but it's very good. And he pulls out of the hat a grand sum of 23 gold pieces and 15 silver. It's amazing. People pay to just see you people do what you normally do. It's wonderful.
Yeah, that's for the Skywell Fund or whatever.
Gwen takes half of it out, looks at him and says, half. And she gives the other half to the girl who did most of the act.
To Gwen. All right. So to Irwith, sorry. The elf. Yeah. Irwith certainly is very happy with that.
I just want to say that Lionel and Draxus put on an impromptu 2-person magic show with both of their invisible servants.
I was just thinking the unseen servant's got to
And they were like, "Oh shit, we have a circus. I got a thing too."
It's just 2 invisible dudes doing weird stuff.
Yeah, this is I don't know what's happening. But if Lionel finds out about the piss, he is going to be pissed.
Pissed.
He's going to be pissed. He's just saying.
So
Well,
in
before
an
the-
But he'll spend the rest of the time after the circus show just filling up the jars and trying to convince the guys to leave once they have enough supplies from this particular.
Oh,
circus.
yeah. Once the circus is over, Surak says, "Well, it was only a one-time show, according to the flyer," he says, and the Sartoon gracefully departs the dock with some cheering sort of people waving as you make your way out over the large expanse. The ship continues to sail for another 3 days, or the ship, I should say, the Skywell continues to fly for another 3 days. And the terrain that you are sailing over, still the fractured islands of the Terrasphere, but these are the largest islands in all of the 3 spheres. And for almost an entire day, there is nothing below you except for hard ground, which is unusual, as it's usually bits of ground and then sky and the like. And as you make your way towards Shisha, the terrain starts to change, as does the odor in the air, as does the feeling of the air, as that matter of fact. It starts to become a lot more humid, and the moisture starts to build, and the scents and aromas that drift up are of the detritus of a jungle in full bloom, busy growing and dying all around you. And the carpet that is spread out changes from the various hues of mountains to large swathes of massive, deep jungle, with its emeralds and greens sprayed out all about you, as a mad canvas painting by Jackson Pollock might. Now, finding Shisha is the biggest challenge, and for at least half a day, Surak has Sartoon doing big, broad circles, and everyone, including the kids, looking over the edges, trying to find the very square shapes that are very specific to the construction of the lizard folk. And eventually there's this blossom of red fabric which gives away deep in the canopy the site of Qualm. Okay, so we have arrived. They usually send up a delegate to do the negotiations. Do you want me to talk to them? Do any of you speak lizard folk, Ian?
How about you just talk to them and, because you know them.
All right. I know why I am here. Why are you 5 here?
Oh, we gotta, save the world. And I turn at Venkus and I'm like, what are we doing here again?
We're here following Draxus. He's in the lead. He's the one that gets the book.
Mr. Dr. Professor Draxus, what are we doing here?
You had it right. We're saving the world.
All right. What's our actual
I don't
goal?
think we're going to tell them we are here to save the world.
So listen.
We should just tell them we have a dragon egg on board.
No. Why would that? No. Listen,
It's called sarcasm.
Listen. I actually have a job for you. You can actually be useful.
And he points to Lionel.
They're going to offer us a terrible, terrible deal. And you're going to translate through him. Oh, I forget his name.
The captain, which alludes me to Sirac, that's right.
And then you can translate through Sirac. The deal is we give them a shitload of meat or a whale load of meat, and they let us live, which is terrible. It's a terrible deal. And then we can go into the city and buy stuff and talk to people, it's terrible. They don't want honey. I'm just going to preface that. They just want the...
Draxus, I don't think you know just how powerful the honey can be. And I'm going to have, in my unseen servant that I've ritual cast, hover a jar up and float it, right under his face, unscrew the lid so it wafts near Draxus.
So
I don't think you know how powerful it could be.
For the past 3 days, the only thing I've been attempting to do with the kids is replace one of his honeys with pee. That's the only thing we've been doing.
I will destroy you if we have to fight this entire city because you didn't tell me that you replaced my honey with piss.
Of your 100 jars,
that is
one
a
of them
straight up
has been
giggle.
replaced. So we'll deal with that as we get there.
Draxus just looks at you quizzically. He's like, I could just see magic all the time, right?
I don't think you know just how magical this. And he's just gonna ignore right past that. He's trying to convince you it's gonna be fine.
Just combine the honey with the meat for all I care. Just sweeten the deal so we don't have to sell them all the meat, or we get a boat.
I see what you did there, my friend.
Yeah, all right.
We will sweeten the pot, as they say.
God damn it. Okay, great. Whatever. Also, they trade glass here for something, and that's worth whatever. So maybe you can do something with that. Regardless, the point is, we need to speak to a shaman. His name was
Guy?
No, that wasn't his name.
No, you're right. It sure wasn't.
It just reminded me of his name. A wizard. His name was Tim.
Him?
Wizard. Diddly.
God damn it. What was the guy's name? The
Gajahimox.
Man, I don't know how to spell that.
I'm sorry,
he's like,
maybe you should
we
repeat
need
that
to
one
meet
more
with the
time.
shaman, Gajahijox.
Chickenpox.
Chickenpox. No,
Dodecahedrox.
yeah. We need to meet with the...
Goji Pox.
Paradox.
Okay. Listen, the point is, if we don't meet with the guy, we can't extract the crystals out of the people without them dying.
Wait, the Mr. Big Dick and Cox is gonna get the things out of their chests?
Ganja Hedrox will not know what ate him.
Gajahedrox.
That's
Gotcha.
what I said. Ganja Hedrox.
Okay. Maybe don't use the word. Anyway, if we don't see him, Aowith dies and Scratches dies.
Why do they die?
Yeah, they die. Because that's how I got the crystal. Well, that's how I didn't get it. Sorry.
And he looks to Gwen for some reason.
Anyway, that's how the crystal got out of the last person it was in. They exploded into a bunch of tiny pieces. So I prefer not to explode other members of the crew.
Okay.
I mean, I'd prefer that, but if we have to explode them, then
Especially not Scratches. He's
agree.
like family.
He is like family.
I do
And
like
he's
that
keeping it
donkey.
I second that option. If I can avoid exploding, I'm very allergic to exploding.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the main reason we're here, is to not explode Scratches.
Yes.
I'm allergic to bread.
There is a rope that's thrown down. And
Oh, fuck.
That delivery.
you watch as this very blue lizard, wearing very little other than, it looks like scraps of leather and bone that have been tied on to really random kind of places, comes climbing up. He has this large red feather sort of tied to the back of his head. And as he gets to the top, you can see this incredibly yellow, very bulbous looking eyes with black slits in the middle of them. And he bows low before Captain Surak, who imperiously sort of looks down as a Skywolves captain might be. Surak looks over at the five of you and kind of gives you a wink of, I got this. And the lizard folk starts to chat. Do any of you speak Draconian?
I do.
All right, so wait.
Dante appears to as well.
Oh, I do too.
Jesus Christ.
No, I
Everyone
don't
in anticipation.
I did
He
not
does-
give myself any languages. Perhaps I speak Draconian.
I speak Common and Orc.
Common and all.
Common, infernal, draconian, and primordial.
I think
You,
I
what did
Wow,
you do when you were
okay.
dead? Study?
Too fucking soon, Dante.
I do not speak Draconic, so
All right.
I have a breadth of knowledge about it.
Selling
Oh.
honey through mime is going to be so
You
much
weren't
fun.
loafing about in the underworld.
At East, I tried.
Nice. Got him.
Okay, moving swiftly on.
The
Swiftly.
show, the show is crumbling apart, guys. Let's keep this thing going.
Oh, dear. Okay.
Let's just slice through the bullshit.
Let's wrap it up.
What? A baguette?
Oh no! All right, the lizard folk starts to chatter in Draconic to Surak, who chatters back as quickly as it fires off. It is a form of Draconic, so those of you that can speak it can kind of follow, but it's incredibly quickly spoken Draconic, giving it its rather unique dialect. The exchange that kind of goes backwards and forwards as Surak is trying to negotiate for half of the weight of the whale. Or at least half of the weight of the meat that you're carrying on the whale, in order for the five of you to be granted access rights. The lizard folk is apparently adamant that the children are underweight and don't count as nearly enough meat as being provided. Surak quickly heads off that misinterpretation of why there are so many children on the ship. So someone needs to roll, please, for Captain Surak. Just roll a d20 for me.
I want to do
Anyone?
it. I never do it.
You do
Fuck.
So while this is happening, Draxus is trying to as
Oh
quickly as
my
possible.
god.
He's trying to as quickly as possible translate for Lionel to know what's going on.
Oops.
So,
All right.
so Lionel's aware of the exchanges happening.
So
What
Dante's
am I supposed to be
Magnificent
aware
Four,
Draxus is as quickly as possible translating to you.
Okay.
And Gwen is messing him up every few words, being like, no, and says the opposite just to be annoying.
So this negotiation quickly devolves, and by the end of it, unless you're going to try and interject, Lionel or anyone as a matter of fact,
Is it going well?
No.
so I will give you all of the meat on the Sky Whale as well as 3 of the children, and that will give us permission for 3 of our companions to go around on the city. Yes.
So
this
far,
is-
he's giving away kids.
Oh
And
no,
only
he's giving away the
It's not-
children.
at least 3 of them. Yeah, and not all of us can even enter the town, so it's not going well.
That is not. Pardon, my good man. And I'm gonna. Damn it! I was gonna go. I was trying to like get his attention.
He
Draxus
immediately
just
looks
watches
at
for a
you
second.
as it.
Out of respect.
Surak is he immediately takes one of the crates nearby and sort of pulls out a hock of meat, and he prostrates himself and places it at the foot of the lizard folk, and sort of shuffles backwards. Under his breath, he mutters to you, Lionel, you're now in charge. You've taken away. If you want to step out, you have to give him more meat.
I have always been in charge. My good man. It seems to me that we are having a bit of a communication problem. Do you speak in the common tongue?
These large, bulbous yellow eyes gaze at you unflinchingly. You're waiting for it to blink until you realize that this particular species don't have eyelids. They have nictating membranes. So
How many people are here in the negotiation?
All of us are standing there.
your cluster
Just
plus
one
then
guy.
the 40 kids behind you. And it's just the one lizard folk with the red feathers tied to the back.
it's just this one fucking guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and have we docked?
No, he climbed up the rope onto the skywall.
Oh, I'm not
There-
worried about this
yeah.
motherfucker. All right, yeah. Excuse me, we're having a bit of a communication problem.
I think Draxus just stands there for a second and watches.
Oh,
And then he-
I think
and then he
Gwen
steps-
jumps in.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gwen just steps forward and
I'm gonna walk
And-
over to. I walk over to Lionel and I pull out my bagpipes and I go and I cast tongues on him.
Tums.
I forgot I
Does
had
that
it.
allow
Do you
me
have an
to speak?
indigestion issue?
Does that
The
allow me to
most
speak it?
obnoxious of all of your instruments is what you.
I panicked. I completely forgot he had that spell.
I love bards.
When Gwen goes up, I guess now he understands and she
Third
thinks,
level spell.
but she'll go up to the guy and just in Draconic be like, I am sorry for these two. Clearly they're not cultured. Honestly, we just keep them around to clean the decks and take care of the children.
Do I understand this now, guy?
Yeah, you got tongues on.
And she'll turn back around and like while pointing at you and the kids. Yeah, we don't want to sell these children, so we can give you meat in exchange and anything else that you want, except
For the honey. They're not allowed to have the honey. And I'm going to kind of jump in Draconic. Just to let Gwen know that I heard
She
what
doesn't
she
care.
said.
No, she's
and
not
that I
phased.
have feelings. That Lionel's a person.
Its tongue is going in and out every now and again, as folk do. And it sort of impassively looks from you, Gwen, over to you, Lionel. And do you bring out a vase of honey?
Oh no,
A vase?
I'm not showing him the honey yet.
Right.
Dante, make sure the honey is locked away. It is so valuable. We don't want to lose even a single bottle. And I'm going to say that in common.
I say,
Actually, you know what? I'm going to say that in Draconic, because I know that Dante doesn't understand me.
Right.
But I've worked with him enough, and I'm going to give him the nod, the familiar, like, down, up, and over, which is like, the honey deal is on. And I'm going to, hopefully he will get the gist of what's
cool. Dante's going to roll insight.
You know, the
Nice.
old honey deal nod.
The old honey deal. Yeah.
Excuse me, we have been
I
working
wink,
together for years.
and I
He
go
ate
and I
my
get-
toe. All right? We're closer than brothers.
Yeah, he's
Part of you
almost
can
shitting his
find
pants. He nods and he goes and gets the honey
All right.
and then forgets which one is the pea.
My friend, you know, the meat is fine. You're not getting any of the children, though, nor any of the honey. It's just far too valuable. We need that to trade inside. You know, it's worth, you know, most of what you have here in the city because of its magical properties.
It looks at you. It's very difficult to gauge what it's thinking because these eyes are just unflinching. The full cargo of meat will be provided. The other substances are of little interest to us. As for the live children, if you spend more than a full moon cycle with us, we will expect more payments.
We accept.
The creature does this funny little hopping from left to right foot and then sticks its hand into a little pouch, pulls out a small, it looks like a handful of dust, and throws it on the ground so that the ground has this powdered paint like blast radius on it. The blast radius is a sort of a red, looks like a red powder that's going to be splattered down. He then turns, pulls out of his other pocket a small little flute, which he presses to his scaled lips, and he blows very, very, very quietly on. And the trees seem to open up slightly, and you can see this massive cavernous space underneath the upper branches reveal itself. And then he sort of points down in the direction of the open chamber. Serac looks to the five of you. We go then?
I think we are going. And I'm going to grab kind of Serac, like around the shoulders and turn him back towards the boat, right? Because we need to unload or whatever, or tell whomever. And I'm going to kind of pull him in. Tell me, Captain Serac, have you ever seen your own intestines?
No.
If you ever try to sell another one of the children, you won't be telling me no any longer. Do I get my point across to you? Dante has a particular fondness for toes.
I admit, the negotiations were not going as well as I had hoped, but I was seeking to try and understand his relative position. So I definitely never would get.
I'm gonna give him like an extra squeeze while he's trying to talk and like chat. I think we have a good understanding.
Yeah, great, good. I will go and fly this guy well now. And he sort of wanders off towards the front of the ship, muttering, "I am not very good. I'm cargo captain. Now I'm negotiating on." He sort of goes off. The lizard folk sort of hops back and looks at the five of you as Sartoon lowers herself down into this canopy. And what you realize is that although there are many stone structures that form the base of the city, it's mainly wide paths or roads that lead through these magnificently massive trees, more than actual structures themselves. The structures themselves are built all around the trees, huge treehouse constructions made out of bits of bone and leather and wooden trussing and the like. Lots of corridors and platforms everywhere, and just thousands of these bright blue lizard folk watching you as you sail in to the canopy itself. Eventually, you pull up alongside a very long dock, one of the few stone structures that you can actually see, and the architecture is not that different from the architecture that you rescued Leslie from, as a matter of fact. Very similar sort of style and approach, but overgrown with jungle foliage and the like. You come to a final stop. The lizard folk looks at the five of you and then hops off onto the dock. The captain then looks at you. So we are here now. I will begin transferring all of the meat. You five are free to wander, of course. How long do we wait for you?
I think you take this back up in the sky. We don't know these. We'll just signal if we need you, if you want to do circles.
I would much more rather prefer to do that. Thank you very much. We will offload cargo as fast as possible, yes?
It's like picking someone up from the airport.
What is the signal? We should decide on that now.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. Very good idea.
First off, if any of the buildings are on fire, probably a good signal.
Gwen raises her weapon and yells to the kids because they've been like training and she's been helping them kind of like learn how to fight. She's just, oh! And they all start like doing it and hitting their weapons on the ground. And she's like, they're ready. Don't let anybody else on this ship, especially any of those lizard people.
Do they all do the Xena battle cry?
They all do the ululation, absolutely.
That's awesome.
There is a ululation.
Like sharp sticks or whatever they can find.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, no, absolutely. Without a doubt.
Closer and closer to a legitimate Lord of the Flies situation.
It really is.
Thanks, Lauren.
You're welcome.
All right. What are the five of you doing? The Skywellers, the cargo is being offloaded by more of these blue-skinned lizard folk.
Not that Cody has slept at all since the last 2 weeks of pneumonia having has interrupted the game. Why are we here again?
Yeah, Dave the player doesn't remember, and Vankus wouldn't care.
I just answered that question for Dante like 10 minutes ago. The shaman.
Oh, what? Sorry, I was peeing.
That's fine.
Another jar of honey.
I went over to that tree over there and I peed.
Why do you have a jar with you? You know what? I don't care. I don't care. We're here to see the shaman.
Yeah, where's the shaman at?
But why are we here to see the shaman? Is he going to be removing the stones?
Well, he knows how, possibly.
But is he going to be actually removing the stones?
Or
is he just going to be telling us, go out to some other island?
I don't know. I haven't spoken to him yet. Have you?
I don't like shamans. They give me the creeps.
Wait, shamans or shaman? Because there's men that give you sha. And then there's shaman.
Not the latter.
All right, okay, just making sure.
Yeah. Shaman.
They have too many little bones all around and creepy little huts.
Shaman actually means dog in Orcish.
That's racist.
No, it's not.
No, not you, Dante. That's just
okay.
I also speak Orcish. That's racist, I think. Or it's... I don't know what that is.
It's ethnocentric, says Target.
Perfect. Thank you. See?
Well, let's follow one of these brick roads to the shaman here.
We only have one night. We might want to be...
Nah. We got one night. We got one shaman.
One night. Not missing a chance to blow.
Yeah.
We already have... We understand. We have one night. Can we get this on the road?
Yeah.
One night and one night only.
What happens after one night?
We have to pay with children.
They eat you.
Yeah, it's like a club. You only have one night. One night to
I don't think they want
to party. And then
I'm leaving now.
You have to pay with your children. Well, it's Orcish clubs. I don't know. And I follow behind.
This conversation happens as you disembark into the Great Stone steps. There are lizard folk that come hopping up to you. One of them has these more feathers and leather than pretty much any of the other ones. And it gives you, you're not sure what the expression is because they don't have facial muscles, very much to express very, very many emotions. But it looks at the five of you. You need a guide.
Oh God, no. Wait, maybe. I don't know. Do we need a guide?
It asks in common.
I like him. I think we should follow him.
Draxus just looks to Lionel and says, he's going to charge you.
Yes.
I look at this guy.
I have enough of your money to pay him.
Where will we go if you're a guide?
I can take you to the great sites, the market space of Shisha or the arenas, perhaps.
I turn to
Can
everybody.
you take us to the She-Man that we're supposed to see?
Not the she-man, the shaman.
Yeah.
We are looking for a shaman. His name is Gongirex. Gongadrax.
No, it's magic.
Gongirex.
Damn it. I should have just paid for
It's
one.
a cox.
I
Ganja
mean Ganja I know of him, yes.
Oh, could you take us to him?
How do you even do the M's with the lips like that? Sorry, that is an inappropriate question.
That's also racist.
I turn to say, Lionel, you can't just ask people how they can make M's.
I recently learned I can ask this. Do you lay eggs?
No, you can't.
Yeah, do you lay any of the eggs?
Don't mind them. Can you please take us to the shaman?
For the record, just for the record, unseen servant, creepy cloak and mask, and I definitely have a satchel full of at least 15 to 20 jars of honey, just in case.
Oh my God! All right, so yes, he.
I don't know if I brought my swords, but the honey.
If he has this and these guys are asking about eggs and stuff, I think Draxus is like, stop talking. And he like turns to Vegas and Lionel. He's like, okay, listen, I didn't think I had to do this. The people here are deeply religious and they believe in just like all kinds of fate and like portents, and they read the clouds and all kinds of, and if you have that thing walking around and you keep asking about eggs, they're probably going to stab and eat you, or they're going to think it's a challenge and challenge you to war and stab and eat you. So
Oh, you guys are in trouble.
please don't offend them. They have one of the largest armies in the world. The whole world.
Yeah, Lionel, you
Do
better
you
start.
have one of the largest armies in the world? Is that true?
You want to go to the army's training ground?
Perhaps, you know this is not anything to be worried about. And I'm going to point over at the mask and the cloak. Does he have any reaction to it floating nearby?
He looks at it. He looks back. I assume you are a shaman yourself, using such magics.
Oh my.
Yes, but less of the crushing of little squirrels' skulls. But
No,
yes.
they're religious. That's the religious leaders. Please don't do that.
So can you take us to the shaman, please? And thank you. Now?
Gundra Max.
How
Hey,
much?
guys, I kinda wanna-
Draxus, Gwen said it was perfectly okay to ask about the egg laying.
You wish to go to the matrons?
Wait, I'm sorry to interrupt. I smell pretzel.
Not at the moment, but maybe later.
They might be able to answer our question about the thing we're not supposed to talk about.
Oh my God.
I don't think we care about that. Do you want them to take the children, Venkus? I feel like you of anyone would take this seriously.
Draxus, do you smell pretzels?
Vankus looks around
I-
and looks up
I was
at the sky. I don't think they can fly.
You want to go to our flyers?
No, they can fly.
Oh no, they can fly.
This guy is fucking way creepier than I had hoped for. Oh god.
Like looking in a mirror, isn't it? Lionel.
I think we need to go. I think we need to go to the and see the shaman.
I'm sorry. They're tourists. I know that we don't often get tourists here. We don't want to see the sights. We just want to
Someday
see
as a Kodak.
Gadrahimox.
I will take you to Ganja.
Oh,
And then he
God.
holds his clawed hand out again, waiting for Silver.
shake it.
It's cold and slightly clammy as you
That's
and
racist.
it's limp as you shake it. He looks down. He looks at you. Ah, yes, I remember this.
What? You
This
remember handshakes?
shaking of appendages without consumption.
Okay, whatever. And he reaches into his like pouch and pulls out coin and puts it in his hand.
He sort of grabs it around. You can call me Tananuga. Yes.
Great. Just straight line to Gaja would be just no
You
stops.
wish for a mount? An experience to be had.
No,
It'll
just
get us there faster.
Yes.
Ooh, a mount sounds really fun.
Chattanooga, we are trying to get there as quick as possible, please.
What are your mounts?
killed.
He points to this very large. It looks to be like an elephant, but it has two trunks coming out of the front of its head. They are slowly wrapping around these very large crates that it lifts and moves. It's kind of got quite a heavy armored plating on its back. And then it has this really long tail that ends in a bald spike.
I turn to everybody and I say, "Oh, we could get one of those bikes, and you all sit on the bike, and you all bike, and then you go through the city, and then you bike down the things."
That is a great idea, Dante. I like where you're going with this.
We don't have those. Limited parking.
Damn it.
You can already hear clank, 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 clank as Gwen is running towards this awesome thing.
What do you call this
She's
creature?
going. She left.
So, yeah, your group kind of follows Gwen as you move over. You can see that there's dozens of them. He wasn't pointing, you now realize, to that particular creature because it doesn't look like it's particularly fast. He was pointing to several smaller. Again, they kind of look like an emu. So a large two-legged bird, great big plumage out the sides.
We're getting chocobos. We're getting chocobos. Let's do it.
With these long, scaly necks ending in these very bird-like heads. It is only another 3 silver each.
Gwen throws a gold at his head as she's petting one of the emu-looking birds and just hugging it, and she's like, "This is awesome."
He grabs the coin, looks at the rest of you. You will not be able to keep up unless you all ride. I'm afraid the Sarwe are very quick.
Now is not the time for negotiations. Here is the silver that you need.
She yells out, "I gave him a gold."
Are we going on the elephant emu?
The Sarwe, yes.
Yes.
You climb up onto these birds. They actually, it's like riding a horse almost, except that it's a feather duster as well. So it's a bit more fluffy and furry. And then Tatangua, he climbs up onto his bird, which he's obviously got from, it looks like his identical twin. And then the 5 of you make a flocking motion away from this dock area.
As we're riding, I pull out this long wooden tube out of my back that I have strapped onto me, and I pull it down and I just start. And my face freezes on my camera, but if I really bad sound will play. But you know what? That's perfect. It can just stay right there.
That's the
I
best.
hope that is up there.
Love it.
For the
Thank you.
rest of the evening.
I am playing a didgeridoo, and I'm playing Welcome to the Jungle on a didgeridoo.
There you go. That's what you're playing on your didgeridoo, which you happen to have in your backpack.
Yeah, it's just there.
Not all lizard people look the same, guy. Can we racist?
Not all lizard people look the same. That is entirely true. Except in this particular case, when they are from the same clutch. So you journey through the city and you pass several other humans that you can see are in quite deep negotiations. You can understand why they are known for their glass, although glass is not necessarily the right word. It looks like these large slightly transparent, but also slightly opaque turquoise crystals that have got these rather curious veins of energy flowing through them. At first, you think that it's perhaps bits of gold and other sort of decorative things that have been added to it, until you realize that it's actually got a bit of motion to it. So these things seem to be sold almost everywhere. Everyone tries to sort of sell them, and they're hanging up trinkets and the like. And after a while, you pass out of the market area and into more residential sort of spaces. And by residential spaces, I mean the birds take a wooden ramp up into the canopy of the trees themselves. Now, the trees stand easily 100 foot above the ground. So there are multiple walkways and things. These are very large, broad spaces, unlike the last city that you were in, that was very confined and very cramped. You also start to notice that there's different types of lizard folk. There are the very blue-skinned ones that are fairly small in size. And every now and again, you can see these very much larger ones. They have this incredibly bold orange or red skin tone, but they look much more like sort of crocodilian in their archaicness, if you like, than the little blue-skinned ones. And it's not long before eventually you arrive at this very large wooden structure. It's got lots of, it looks like tusks and teeth have been used to make the structure itself. And Tatangua stops the flock and says, "We have arrived. I will see if Gajahimox will see you now." But before he finishes dismounting, the large animal hide that hangs over the main entrance is pushed aside, and standing looking rather perplexed, which is difficult for a crocodile to do, but nonetheless, is this, it must be a shaman. He's got a skull of a beast on his head. There's feathers sticking out everywhere like some kind of deranged peacock. And he's holding this long gnarled staff with the skull of a human mounted over the top of it. And
I go, it's Dong Pee Cox.
I should have taken the children.
We did.
You threw a coin at a man's head.
I jump off the elephant and I run towards him. I say,
Listen,
it's
don't-
good to meet you.
It's not an elephant, it's a bird.
it's a large
chocobo.
black bird, but yes,
He's not very smart.
as you start moving towards him, he raises his staff and he says, "I have foreseen the arrivals of the champions. I am glad you are here."
I turn towards the party and I'm like, and then I turn back to him and I'm like, yes, we are the champions.
"The portents have aligned, yes. Journey with me," he says as he turns and heads back inside the hut.
I don't take this
I'm
one.
perplexed.
"Shall I wait here for your return?"
I turn and I say, gosh, come on, let's go.
Yes, wait here.
Yes, please.
Lionel,
This reminds me of Old Wolf's home.
I go in. I'm first. I am intrigued.
Lionel, for the love of all the honey on the ship, don't insult the shaman.
I'm not going to insult the shaman.
You immediately, the first thing you asked was, do you people lay eggs?
I was curious. What am I going to read it in a book?
Yes, literally any book about lizard folk would probably have
Life
that.
is not
Chapter
filled
1.
with books. It's filled with relationships. You meet people. You talk to them like people.
No, we literally have a skywheel full of books.
You can read the books.
I have.
Champion.
Which is what I'm saying.
And I'm gonna kind of like walk
Oh
by.
my god.
This chaos flows into the shaman's hut. As the five of you walk in, I need you to all please make Constitution saving throws.
Oh
Fucking seriously?
no! Boop. Uh-oh. Nice
Son
job,
of a
Van.
bitch! Son of a bitch! I hate shamans.
Guy, you are muted, but I'm sure whatever you're saying is super important.
Draxus, Dante, and Lionel, thank you for that. As you walk into the shaman's space, you automatically get this feeling of calmness just washing over you. as the vast amounts of marijuana that are burning in all of the different braziers immediately start to flood your system and tone things down.
You know, Jack says.
Bankers and Gwen, apparently this has absolutely no effect on you whatsoever.
Because they're always, they have loads of it on the ship. It doesn't phase them at all.
Old Wolf used to burn the same incense all the time as well.
This stuff's garbage. You smell this bullshit?
I thought it's like,
Smells like a skunk in here.
Smells like Old Wolf in here.
Right. At
Maybe
the very
I
center
shouldn't
of the-
be so hard on you, Jack says.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab his butt.
The shaman has these sconces around, and he's sort of throwing various herbs and things into the braziers, causing them to crackle and burn and release various fumes and things. But yes, the three of you are definitely a lot more inclined to comply with the shaman than
I go to the shaman and I say, "Hey, do you have any like chips?"
There will be plenty of time for feasting, yes.
All right, great. Just making sure I haven't eaten all day and I'm suddenly really hungry.
He gestures to the five of you. Sit upon the circle so that we might discuss what needs to be done.
I sit down.
Draxus as well.
I'm gonna sit in Drax's lap.
No, this is not. No. No.
I'll scoot off of it and I'll be like as close as you can, crisscross applesauce.
I'll
Be
put my
touching
head.
thighs.
My
Lionel,
head
those
is on
aren't eggs
Lionel.
for you to warm.
My head is in Lionel's lap. I'm like,
Oh, he's totally fine with that too. Like, come on, Dante. Like, we're gonna cuddle.
I see
We're gonna
some
cuddle.
of you are already in the spirit of things.
I'm so ready.
I'm feeling very spirity, if you get my meaning.
Gwen looks at Venkus and she sits next to him, and she'll look at Venkus and go, "Do you think Doug's okay?" And she just looks out the door back at the bird.
The bird kind of looks back at you with its great big eyes.
I think they'll be okay.
Did you name the rented bird Doug?
Yes.
What about the half ogre? Did we? Sorry.
No, we didn't bring him.
I hate all
Dog is
creatures that can
random.
talk, but animals are cool.
Okay.
If you are truly whom you say you are, and the alignment of the islands speak to your future and your past, there are some procedures we must follow first.
Well, do you know who they really speak to? They speak to the Mario sack. That's what they speak to. I'm sorry. Carry on.
That spirit name that we are all familiar with.
Yes, the Mario sack. And
It moves in mysterious ways. Who amongst you would speak for your band?
Lionel, wait, maybe me.
Draxus speaks for us.
Oh, wait,
I
yeah,
will
Drax.
speak for the group. I'm gonna kind of stroke Dante's hair, who's like, in my lap.
Can we take a vote on this?
I seems to have it.
Okay.
What speaking shall I be doing?
So far off to a bad start.
You have journeyed here with a question, have you?
Yes.
You
We
know
have
what? On second thought, I think I forgot the question. Texas, what was the question we supposed to be asking?
I still smell pretzels.
How do I get the stones out of my friends?
All right,
before they
hey,
explode?
how do we get the stones out of our talking donkey without causing it to explode? That, I
Yeah.
think, is the important question of the day.
Well said.
You must prove yourselves worthy of the rights to bear this significant quest. You do know what it is that your companions bear, yeah?
I have no
Yeah.
idea what it is. Gwen, do you
No,
know
no,
what
we-
it is?
We got
I know this one.
Venkus?
Gwen,
The
your
hearts.
voice got so deep.
We gotta put Braxis's heart back together.
He seems to sigh a little bit. I was worried that perhaps you weren't the chosen ones that had been spoken of in the prophecies.
We get that a lot.
Yeah.
He kind of looks over at Dante and Lionel particularly. I was naturally concerned.
Dante, you are a chosen one.
Yeah, I know, baby. I know I'm a chosen one.
No, we have the 3 stones and the stick with the. We put the stones in the stick.
I am concerned more with the stones than with anything else.
Mm-hmm. I have one because he exploded. So
the rites and rituals that accompany this require that those who would perform them are tested against our highest standards. You understand, no mere mortals should be given the enormity of this task. Yes?
Yeah, no, my task is enormous. That's right.
When it cuts back to us, Dante is standing up, searching the room for food. For those.
There is vast amounts of it. Well, you think it's food? It's bags. It's woven wicker baskets of little. It looks like nuts.
All right. I will look at the nuts and notice that there is a small little thing written on it, and I say, "Praise be Jenks, our holy lord of rye. May she rain down beans upon your enemy. Give into her yeastiness and follow the path oil toast. Praise be our Lord Yeast." What the hell is this?
Is that a sick joke?
What? No, I just found this. And I crumple the paper and I throw it into the fire, and then I eat some of the bread.
She shows the bean scars. This is not a joke. Somebody spilled the beans, and she died.
I don't know what that was about, but I don't really.
Wait. What do you mean she died, yet you got the scars? I never. Jack says, what?
Yeah.
Do you see these markings on his arm? It brought me back to life so that I could protect him.
But you said she like it wasn't you. But I thought she was you, but you were not she, according to what you said.
Nah.
What do you mean it's her body?
Do you guys want some bread?
I'm going to come over and I'm going to, like, touch Gwen, like, just...
She slaps his hand away.
Just, like, on the forearm. What do you mean, her body?
Hands off. His friend died.
I could feel that.
I am to protect him.
Friend is
That's my goal. That is what my God told me to do.
But you're not the one with the bean scars.
I liked Valentin best.
No, she is the one with the bean scars. I can see them. They're right there.
I don't understand why you're talking in the third person. I don't go around saying, Lionel's got all this great honey. Okay,
because
maybe sometimes I do that.
I shove bread into Lionel's mouth.
I gave
when like
it was okay, I guess.
She jumps back because she doesn't want to be allergic.
If Lionel is like eating and chewing and trying to get a word out, I shove more bread into his mouth. And I say, shh. Just bread now. It's only bread.
Go on.
He was just really loud.
The shaman kind of watches this going on for a while. I must remember to tone down the herbs for strangers.
I knew it.
I'm not going on with the
They just can't handle it. And she just looks and pats the shaman on the shoulder.
He raises a hand. If you are truly whom you say you are, the champions of Brax, then you agree to the trials to test that you are whom you say you are, yes?
That depends. How long are the trials?
We can only stay here a night or your people are going to start eating children we have on our skywhale.
These trials aren't written, are they?
Be proven worthy or unworthy. It does not really take long. It's quick.
We don't want to get the children.
What did he say?
Can you handle that, please? Can you just more?
Oh, yeah, sorry. And I dump all the bread into his face.
I would say
they aren't written, are they?
Do you agree? Are you do? This is very. I did not expect it to go like this. Actually, personally, I was expecting champions.
We are champions. That's how we've gotten here.
Yes, of course. You accept. I will throw the bones so that we might determine the great challenge that is set before you.
Yeah, do throw the bones. I love when you do that.
Everywhere we go, some people expect one thing and they get booked. They get the flying whale mobile with books, and sometimes they get the circus. They thought they were going to get beans and tubs of water. We are very surprised. We got just running bands of children instead.
Was a sticking point in the prophecy interpretations. It is actually a giant flying sky whale that you are on.
Yeah. Now it's pretty crazy.
Yes.
Wait, so there's prophecies about us?
Yes, that is how I knew of your arrival.
Can I have a copy of some of these texts?
If you prove yourselves worthy during the trials, yes, we will give you a copy of the prophecies.
That's fair.
Like a
And
gift
perhaps
shop.
we should take those two out into the air to clear their minds. The bones. He takes the bones. He sort of rummages around in this looks like a rather manky box, and he shakes the box. And then as he turns it over, you can see that there's a name emblazoned on the bottom of this very nice wooden dice box as he then throws the bones out onto the floor in front of you. They sort of scatter around. One disappears. Oh, shit, always does that. I'll find it later. And the bones come to a rest, and he sort of reads them, and he looks around, and he says, Shenpahaun will be your challenge. Do you accept, great champions of
Send the
Brax?
hounds.
Then let it be so, he says. As he does this, he grabs his staff, he sort of slams it down. He slams it down again as nothing happens. And scurrying out from one of the doors is several of these blue lizards. They come rushing up to the five of you.
Oh.
Go with them. They will take you to the preparation chamber so that you might be tested.
Has anyone told you that your skin is blue?
That's racist.
Nope, that's just a fact.
I
Gwen
turn
runs out.
and I begin on all fours follow the lizards.
The lizards are sort of trying to help you up and get them some coffee and water back. I don't
They walk on 2 feet.
Oh, I forgot. And then I stand on 2 feet and I just begin to lumber forward.
You're slowly shuffled out of this room into the preparation chamber. It's very different. The air is a lot more. It's clear here. There's definitely no sort of weeds and things that are burning. There's large, cool pools of water, which the lizard folk. They're not sure if they should dip you in or not, but then there's a table that's covered in various types of meats, and looks like the meat has been glazed in the fruit juices of the forest.
It smells like Brenton Verlo in here. And I go eat food.
It does certainly have that sort of aroma to it, yes.
Wait, Dante.
Oh,
That might be a person.
it's not.
Is it deer?
I smell it.
It smells very glazed, like a glazed ham or.
I don't want to be all like, oh, I'm that guy, but like I grew up in an orc society where they definitely eat people. Do I know what people taste like?
That smells like a blazed ham.
You kind of lick it a little bit. Yeah, it's probably not human. There's
No, it's just pig.
Yeah. All right, so you start munching now. The effects of the weed intoxicant starts to wear off, especially when you get into the water and start saunering it out. But
Guys, like you guys aren't high anymore. Stop.
No. The whole process takes probably around about 5 hours or so. They keep bringing in fresh oils and sort of adding it to the water. And the final trick that they bring through is several clay pots. And in each clay pot, there looks to be, there's only one way to describe it. It looks like body paint. And they've got different colors. There's a blue, there's a red, there's a sort of an ochre color, there's a yellow color. There's definitely something it's a very dark.
I did red. I want red. I did the red color.
And they sort of indicate that you should dab it and then do sort of shapes and things upon yourself.
I start putting tribal tattoos all over my face, or tribal marks.
All right, that's what you start doing. Do any of the others?
Big circle right here.
Gwen will do a little bit on her face, kind of like, you know, on her cheekbones and on her shoulders, like a line. And then she'll draw a dick on Lionel's back.
No, you won't.
She'll do it with a branch so that when you turn around, she can throw it away and be like...
He's in full-on paranoia mode at this point. And he's pissed because Lionel doesn't smoke. Don't do drugs, kids. Right? And he's mad right now that he felt like he was out of control. You know, he doesn't drink. He's straight edge. What happened? There's that damn dirty shaman in there, and so he's kind of pissed about this, and he's moping.
Lionel, you're being a narc.
Remember that time you swindled people to buy your honey?
Dante, I don't trust shamans. They do weird things to your head.
They didn't do anything weird to my head, and I start painting myself as well.
Of course they didn't, you damn hippie.
I help Venkus do his, and I'm like, oh, you should put this right here. And then you should put this right here.
Are we going to die? Are we going to face a big rock monster? We don't even know what the trial is. He just gave us some name no one you can pronounce.
So far, I like this crowd. They feed us, we paint each other.
Yeah,
I got ham in this hand, and I've got paint in this finger. And I turn and I say, I would just like to point out that ever since we left that place and stole that boat, I've been on this roller coaster ride. I have no idea what's going to happen next, but I'm just here for it. So if I have to eat ham and put face paint and get high, well, that's what we got to do to save the world.
I'm with him. And protects that.
Lionel, you should be more like Dante and want to save the world.
Yeah, Lionel.
Fucking Vegas.
In the distance, the five of you can hear whilst this is going on. It sounds like a waterfall starting to build. It's this. It really does sound like there's a roar that's getting louder and louder and louder and louder until it reaches almost the point where you can't hear yourselves. And then it changes all of a sudden, and you realize that it is the sound of thousands of voices in harmony. And then there's this loud sort of clapping thunder that happens. And then there's a rattling sound which causes the structure that you're in to kind of creak, and you can see the wooden beams shift slightly. There's the telltale bit of dust that trickles down from the ceiling as this rhythmic sound starts to ring out, interspersed with cheering and shouting, and then it could be screaming, you're not entirely sure. And then these really obnoxiously loud blasts from a very out-of-tune instrument that thunder around as well. The shaman eventually arrives, and he looks at the five of you. This is now at least 5 hours after you've been brought down here. And he says, "You are ready for the ritual, yes."
Yeah, can we leave clothes here?
Yes, this is your private chamber, yes, for now.
What exactly is the ritual going to entail?
He takes out this piece of leather skin and he lays it out on the table in front of you. And it looks like there's a circle that has been illustrated. And he takes a piece of the face paint. He sort of looks at the five of you. Have you all gone for different colors? Or have you all gone with the same kind of color?
I've gone only red.
Vankus would have went green and red.
Green and red, red
I'm
for...
only red.
Draxus, did you face paint yourself at all?
Draxus didn't, but he had right up until he said, "Hey, can I leave clothes here?" And the guy said yes. He did nothing. But now, as he's going over this, he's untoggling his leather jerkin, and he basically just pulls off the shirt he's wearing, and the forearm you saw that was covered in the runic tattoos is his entire body, and as it goes up to like his back and chest, it looks like he has carved in all kinds of tattoos of like weird creatures all over his body, and they all kind of glitter and glow.
Did that hurt?
No, I passed out.
Gwen's tracing the lines up from his wrist up his back, looking at the back of it.
Right.
Dante's doing this.
Protect from afar.
The objective of the ritual is very simple. The 5 of you represent the forces of good. You must overcome the forces of evil. It is purely a symbolic gesture. Mainly, there is a small amount of sacrifice that is naturally expected. This is what we must supply, sadly. But we understand this is not your first brush with conflict. So, all that is required is for you to take the sacred object, the heart of Brax, from this side, and he indicates on the bigger circle, he draws a smaller circle. Simply take the heart of Brax from this side of the circle to that side of the circle. There will be others who represent the forces of opposition against you. These you will need to overcome by simply avoiding contact with them.
It's like a competition.
It is a ritual, yes, that symbolizes the journey of the 5.
Dante looks so giddy.
Versus the forces of evil. Get the heart of Brax to this side of the circle. You will see there is a cradle in which you might place the heart of Brax. Place the heart, and the ritual will be completed. It is repeated 3 times, as there are set to be 3 trials that our heroes will face. Get the heart across to the other side of the circle 3 times, and you will be deemed worthy of this great and noble challenge of saving our futures.
I have a question. How many of this a sacrifice? That's really the word I'm worried about. How much of the small sacrifice have you had in this ritual over the last, let's say, 3 years?
Perhaps the more correct question is what triggers a sacrifice, rather than how many sacrifices there have been.
You know, I hear you, but I'm mostly concerned with the number of sacrifices you've had in the last few years.
Doubt is the mind killer and will bring about the end of a journey of heroes.
Is it higher than 10? A simple nod will suffice.
If I answer that it is higher than 10, will that demoralize you or motivate you?
Let's just go with motivation. Is it higher than 10?
Yes, it is significantly higher than 10.
I don't like that word significantly. Is it higher than say 50? Oh my god.
What week of the year are we in?
You do way too much math.
Oh my god.
I'm trying to I'm not very good at mathematics. I'm a shaman. I read the bones, the numbers.
Dante, we're going to die.
I understand.
Dante, we're going to die. Draxus, he's going to be the first one.
Sacrifices only happen if you fall in the water. So don't fall in the water.
Real quick, are these challenges, are they back to back, like nonstop?
There is a brief respite of approximately 60 seconds between each of the journeys that the heroes must make.
Okay. I'm in. I got this.
Yeah, I could do this too.
You're going to die, Draxus. It was a pleasure knowing you.
I'm fine.
I think it'll be fun.
I'm excited.
We appreciate the enthusiasm as all good heroes should show. When these doors, and he points to 2 very large doors, open, would you journey out with enthusiasm? Wave at the individuals watching the show or the ritual.
Sure.
This is an arena fight where people are paying to come see people who are told that they're the heroes die.
No.
We'll do it anyway.
It's
But that's what this is.
They pay now. We find it helps fund the
ritual.
reasons.
If we do it, though, we still get whatever you just said.
If you manage to complete the 3 tasks and are proven to be the true champions, we will of
It's like
course,
advertising.
assist you to the fullest extent of our empire.
It's like advertising. I totally understand that you got to, hype up our death, but we're gonna win. So
That fills me with joy, even if I cannot express it because of my racial limitations.
I grab my battle axe and I'm like, all right, I'm pumped. Let's go.
Do they have resting bitch face?
Yes.
Don't make me laugh.
Enjoy your pneumonia laugh, guy.
Yeah, the joy of infections. Right. So as you say that, he kind of bows. Then let the ritual begin, he says.
Okay.
Yeah. As he's about to pull the doors open, he pauses. Yes.
Can we have about 10 minutes? Just a few minutes to gather our thoughts.
He opens the door slightly. That screaming, roaring sound gets even louder. He looks back out again. Maybe 5.
I will take it.
He politely stands at the door.
I'm gonna turn my back to him and quietly try to huddle everybody up and be like, so what happens if this starts to go wrong, or if this is from the shaman? He's a liar. I can feel it in my bones.
I think we just need to go out there and kill whatever they throw at us and stick together.
I mean, yes, that is one option, but what happens if he is lying and it's not even an option to do? What if whatever it is cannot be killed? I don't know about you, and I kind of point down at her bean scars, but I cannot fight like a dragon or something.
I didn't fight a dragon.
I feel like he's got a really honest face.
It's an honest face. He has the same face all the time.
That's racist.
Dante is so giddy that he's near the door ready to go, and he's like, there's a crowd out there awaiting a performance, the performance of a lifetime, and we have to give it to them. And I'm ready.
We don't actually have to kill anything.
Yeah.
We just have to bring the object from point A to point B.
Yeah, but there might be adversaries in the way, and then we might have to kill things.
I can
Get your
fly.
little cloak thing to distract them while we.
Yeah, but what if they try to kill us?
But Draxus is not really a team player.
You
No
know-
offense, Draxus. He'll get whatever we need to do done. Just don't die.
I highly doubt that.
There you go.
It has been a pleasure knowing all of you, but if you die, and I kind of look back over to Draxus and lock eyes with him, don't say I didn't tell you so.
Yeah, no. You wouldn't be the first person we lost on the boat. We'll replace you with another one. Equally blonde. It'll be fine.
Hmm.
That's your pep talk.
Oh,
Yeah.
that wasn't it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we're kind of assholes. All right, let's go.
I got a plan. Draxus, you should stay close to me and just go with it.
All right.
This is not
I'm
going to
scared
go
and
well.
excited.
I
Can
may have forgotten to mention one little thing.
Oh, right.
You need to get to the heart of Braxis first, but I'm sure you'll be fine. Remember, don't touch the water. And he pulls open the door, almost hiding himself behind the door as he pulls it open. And the 5 little blue-bodied reptiles that have been helping you kind of form a line behind you and start pushing you out towards the double doors. Light streams in, much brighter than it was inside of the actual city itself. So it looks as if this is an open area.
Stop for just a moment. Guy, for some reason the stream just totally dropped for about 20 seconds there. If you could repeat as the blue blood dragons are pushing us forward. I'm so sorry to break your momentum here, but the stream dropped.
Dragons.
Oops.
The 5 blue lizard folk start forming a line behind you, pushing you towards the double doors. Light is streaming in from outside, much brighter than it was. I can't remember what else I said. Anyway, light is streaming in from outside. It's much brighter than it was in terms of the actual city itself. So this is obviously an open air space. Do you guys go forward?
Yes.
Good luck, he says as he pushes the double doors behind you. The 5 of you find yourselves standing on this fairly narrow wooden boardwalk. And as I share the map with you, you will see this massive arena, probably about 50 foot in diameter across. And it's filled with water. There are these incredibly small, round wooden posts littered about this entire water arena. And at the very center of it is a singular post with a green hand holding what looks to be a very heart-shaped blue crystal. Around that are just thousands of lizard folk cheering and chanting and going ballistic as the 5 of you are pushed out onto this little wooden deck.
Dante is like totally in the moment.
That makes them go even wilder as they are absolutely in love with this idea. You can see on the opposite side of the arena there's an equal dock, and all painted in this very black paint are 5 very large looking, very lithe looking intent. And when they see the 5 of you come out, they all start doing this very strange looking dance maneuver where they're hissing and their scales are rattling, the feathers that they have on them are busy going ballistic. As they're doing that, the crowd starts to mimic them, and there's this very guttural chanting that goes out with some clapping every now and again as the beat starts to build. In the middle, where that heart is, around it there is a large amount of water. And as that chanting finishes, there is this huge sail fin that breaks out of the surface of the water. It looks like it's a shark fin, but it's about 15 foot in length and sticks out of the water by at least another 15 feet and has got spines up the length of the fin and is this sort of dark olive green color that emerges out of the water and then disappears again into the water itself.
Oh, no.
We'll be back next week. Images of our Kharos Stones.
Wow.
I'm so excited. This is so awesome.
Oh my god.
So cool. Holy crap.
I hope you guys saw the end of the stream. It looks like we picked back up. I love the haka at the end, by the way.
Right.
Dude, so cool.
Fun fact, the high school I went to in Texas is very largely Tongan. So our high school football team would do a haka before a football match. So anyways, yeah, we've got some fun. Have we done a giveaway, Dave? Did we follow up on the last giveaway that we did? Because we were out from Guy being pneumonia'd and dying, mostly.
That's a good question. I think we did that.
Okay. Well, whatever.
And announced it.
Did we announce it? Okay.
I believe we did.
All right. Somebody talk about our wonderful sponsors. Ready, go.
We've got Dungeon Painter Studios. If you want to jump into a dungeon and paint it, that's the place to go. For sure. Of course, our virtual tabletop of choice, Fantasy Grounds. They've been with us since the very beginning. We also have Elderwood, where you can get your wood on with awesome,
that is not
customizable wooden boxes like this one and other great products over there.
Get your wood on.
I noticed they started retweeting people who were tweeting at them, Saber Dice, get your wood on. And I finally saw some of them retweeting them, and it made me chuckle. So, Mike, did you pick a winner, by the way, for your extra giveaway?
I'll be announcing that this weekend.
Okay. You're going to announce it on Saber Dice, right?
No, it's my giveaway.
Not this weekend.
Get right.
Get right. Okay. Well, I'll remember that.
No, I'll announce it on Twitter.
So yeah, follow Mike or don't, because he doesn't have enough Twitter followers. All right, we love your faces. We will see you next Wednesday to watch Draxus be murdered by Megalodon. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay nerdy.
I'm fine.
You're dead. You're gonna die.
I literally have the sky still.
I'm gonna push you in the water.